Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Eugene Valdez. Today, we're diving into something every entrepreneur dreams of: rapid sales growth. Picture it: phones ringing nonstop, products flying off the shelves, customers lining up for what you've built. Sounds amazing. But here's the truth: unchecked growth can be a blessing and a curse. What looks like success on the outside can create cracks on the inside, from supply chain strain to customer dissatisfaction. So in this episode, we'll talk about how to spark rapid growth and, more importantly, manage it wisely so your business grows strong, not shaky. Let's face it, growth is addictive. For new entrepreneurs, those first spikes in sales feel like validation. It's proof that your idea has legs. Customers are showing up. Investors start paying attention, and suddenly your startup has momentum. And that rush? But here's the catch: growth without structure is like driving a sports car without brakes. The speed feels incredible, but one wrong turn and you're in a wreck. Many startups fall into this trap. They chase bigger numbers, faster sales, and more visibility. The systems, people, and processes to support it. Think about it. More customers don't just mean more revenue. They mean more support tickets, more supply chain pressure, more demands on your team. If your systems aren't ready, what felt like success. That's why the smartest founders view growth differently. They don't just ask, how can we get more customers? They ask, can we handle more customers? They think about scalability, customer experience, financial controls, and team culture, all the invisible gears. So yes, chase growth. Enjoy the momentum. But remember, rapid growth isn't the finish line. It's the stress test. And if you build the right structure, it won't just carry you through. It'll position your business to scale stronger. One of the first and most dangerous pitfalls of rapid growth is cash flow mismanagement. Picture this: your sales are higher than ever. Demand is booming. And from the outside, it looks like you're unstoppable. But behind the scenes, you're scrambling because you have enough cash to buy inventory, pay your staff, or even cover your basic expenses. Here's the trap: revenue doesn't always equal cash in the bank. Many young businesses extend credit to customers or rely on payment terms of 30, 60. That means while your sales numbers look impressive on paper, the actual money might still be weeks away from hitting your account. And if your expenses are rising faster than your cash inflows, you can find yourself in a financial chokehold, collapsing under the weight of your own success. They focus only on the excitement of sales growth and forget that growth eats cash. More customers mean more production, more inventory, more staff, all of which demand money now, not later. So here's lesson one. Sales may be the fuel that moves your business forward, but cash is the oxygen that keeps it alive. Track it daily, forecast it weekly, and build buffers so you're never caught short. When sales take off, it's usually a cause for celebration. But here's the reality: when sales explode, your operations are the first to take the hit. Suddenly you're facing production bottlenecks, shipments running late, and quality slipping through the cracks. Customer trust faster than a broken promise. This is one of the classic growing pains of startups. Founders get laser focused on selling, and in the excitement, they forget about scaling. But sales growth without operational strength is like pouring water into a leaky bucket. You're losing customers, you're gaining them. My advice: build your operational capacity in parallel with your sales engine. Think about systems, suppliers, staffing, and quality control before you hit that next growth spurt. Because if you can't deliver what you promised, every new sale isn't a win, it's a liability. And here's the hard truth. In business, a disappointed customer is expensive. They don't just leave quietly. They tell others, they hurt your reputation, and they make it harder to win the next sale. Strong operations aren't the boring part of growth. They're the foundation that makes growth possible. Another big danger of rapid growth, hiring too fast. When sales spike and pressure mounts, many startups rush to bring people in often without proper planning, training, or even checking if they fit the company culture. On the surface, it feels like progress, right? But here's the problem. The wrong hires don't just add little value, they can actually slow you down. Bad hires drain money, complicate execution, and sometimes even create cultural friction that spreads through your entire team. It's eroding, it's incredibly hard to rebuild. The truth is, controlled growth isn't just about scaling sales, it's about scaling people the right way. That means slowing down enough to define the roles you actually need, creating systems to onboard effectively. Every new team member aligns with your vision because the right people don't just fill seats, they multiply your growth. They bring energy, ownership, and resilience that allow your business to scale sustainably. So hire intentionally, not reactively. Growth is exciting. One of the easiest things to overlook during rapid growth is customer service. When sales are booming, founders tend to keep their eyes on the scoreboard. New orders, new customers, new revenue. But here's the hidden cost. Every new customer doesn't just bring revenue, they bring more customers mean more questions, more support tickets, more complaints, and more follow-ups. If you don't invest in systems and people to handle that demand, you risk losing the very customers you worked so hard to win. And here's the kicker. Acquiring new customers is expensive. Existing ones is priceless. Retention is what turns one-time buyers into long-term advocates. I've seen startups with incredible sales momentum collapse simply because they couldn't keep up with service. Late replies, unresolved issues, and poor communication erode trust. It's almost impossible to buy back. So here's the lesson. Don't let sales growth blind you. Build a strong customer experience in parallel with your sales engine. Because a startup that can't keep its customers happy won't survive long, no matter how impressive its sales numbers. Here's a psychological danger that doesn't get talked about enough. Success can breed overconfidence. When sales are climbing fast, it's easy for entrepreneurs to believe they've cracked the code, that they're unstoppable, and that everything they touch will turn into gold. That mindset often leads to risky moves in markets, launching too many products at once, or spending aggressively on marketing without a clear plan for return. And while those decisions feel bold in the moment, if growth isn't controlled, that same expansion can come back to bite you. The reality is, momentum, just because something worked today, doesn't guarantee it will work tomorrow. Markets shift, competition reacts, customers change their preferences, and if you've stretched yourself too thin, you won't have the flexibility to adapt. That's why humility is actually a competitive advantage. Staying grounded forces you to validate every move test before you scale. Listen to your customers and make sure your foundation is strong before you add new layers of complexity. Confidence fuels entrepreneurship, but unchecked confidence becomes arrogance. Ambition with discipline. They dream big, but they execute carefully. They celebrate momentum, but they never take it for granted. So remember this, rapid sales growth is exciting, but it's not a free pass. Controlled growth isn't just about sales and people, it's about systems. And the truth is, you can't run a fast-growing company on Excel sheets and sticky notes forever. They might work in the early hustle stage, but once momentum builds, they'll quickly hold you back. You need real structure, a CRM to manage leads and customers, accounting software to track finances, inventory tools to prevent stockouts, and proper financial reporting to see the health of your business at a glance. Nice to haves, they're essential. Because here's the danger. Without the right systems, growth can feel exciting but misleading. You're moving fast, but without visibility and control, you're essentially flying blind. And in that situation, one mistake, a cash shortfall, a compliance issue, can send the whole operation into chaos. Technology isn't just about saving time. It's about giving you the clarity to make smart decisions, catch problems early, and scale with confidence. Early in the right tools don't just grow faster, they grow smoother, stronger, and with far fewer breakdowns along the way. Many young startups chase rapid growth for one simple reason: investors expect it. The pressure is real. You want to impress with big numbers, hockey stick charts, and explosive momentum. And yes, growth gets attention. But here's the part that often gets overlooked. What investors really want is sustainable growth. Because at the end of the day, investors aren't buying a quick spike in revenue. They're betting on long-term returns. If your business shows huge sales but can't manage cash flow, operations, or retention, that trust begins to fade. Control doesn't inspire confidence, it raises red flags. That's why the smartest founders focus on unit economics. Ask yourself, is each sale profitable? Does scaling mean better margins, or are you just adding volume while burning cash? Investors care less about how today and more about whether you can grow efficiently, repeatedly, and predictably tomorrow. So yes, show ambition, but balance it with discipline. Don't just chase flashy numbers to satisfy short-term pressure. Build a story of controlled growth that is backed by sound economics and operational strength. That's the kind of growth that keeps investors engaged, attracts new capital, and ultimately sets your business up for real success. Remember, strategic growth wins. So, what does controlled growth actually look like? Think of it as a steady climb, fast enough to build momentum, but measured enough to stay in control. It's not about chasing the biggest spike or making headlines. It's about building something that lasts. Starts with knowing your numbers inside and out, understanding your margins, cash flow, and unit economics, so every sale adds real value. It means aligning sales with operations, making sure that as demand, your team and systems can deliver consistently. It's hiring strategically, not reactively, bringing in the right people at the right time, and making sure they strengthen your culture rather than strain it. It also means keeping customers at the center. Because rapid growth, if you can't retain the people who believed in you early on. Happy customers don't just buy more. They become advocates who fuel sustainable expansion. And finally, controlled growth is about preparation, investing in systems and processes that desperately need them so scale doesn't overwhelm you. Controlled growth may not be flashy, but it's steady, predictable, and sustainable. And in entrepreneurship, sustainability isn't just an advantage. It's what separates the businesses that rise and endure from the ones. Rapid sales growth is every entrepreneur's dream, but unmanaged growth can turn that dream into a nightmare. The lesson is simple. Don't just chase growth, control it. Build foundations, manage cash, hire wisely, and never lose focus on the customer. Your startup won't just grow fast, it will grow strong. Thanks for joining me on this episode of the podcast. I'm Eugene Valdez, reminding you, success is not about speed, it's about control. Until next time, keep building wisely.
This has been CEO to Rainmaker with Eugene Valdez. To find out more, like us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. If you have questions, email the show. Find that link and others in the show notes. Thanks for listening, and join us again next time.